Alex lived on a busy space colony called Nova Station. It was a place where humans and aliens worked and lived together. The colony floated in space, far away from Earth. Ships came and went, bringing new people and new stories every day. Alex was an engineer. He worked on machines that helped keep the colony running. He liked his job because it was never boring. Every day was a little different. But lately, Alex felt lonely. He lived alone in a small apartment, and he missed having someone to talk to. One day, the colony's central system sent a message. It said that Alex would receive a new helper. The message did not say much, only that this helper was special and different from the usual assistants. Alex was curious. He wondered what kind of helper he would get. He hoped it would be someone friendly. That afternoon, a small ship landed near his building. The door opened, and out came a figure dressed in a simple uniform. She was not human. Her skin was smooth and light green, and her eyes were big and bright like stars. She moved with quiet steps, graceful and calm. Alex watched as she approached. She stopped a few feet from him and smiled softly. Alex smiled back, feeling a strange but warm feeling inside. "Hello," Alex said. "What is your name?" The alien maid looked at him with sparkling eyes but did not say a word. Instead, she smiled again and tilted her head a little. Alex tried again. "I want to know your name." This time, she only smiled wider and said in a soft voice, "You will learn it on our wedding day." Alex was confused. "Wedding day? What do you mean?" The maid just smiled and did not answer more. She stepped forward and bowed slightly before turning and walking into the apartment. Alex stood still for a moment, watching her disappear inside. His heart was beating fast. He did not understand what just happened, but something about her words stayed in his mind. That evening, Alex prepared dinner while the maid quietly helped him. She cleaned the kitchen and organized tools, but she did not speak. Alex looked at her many times. She was different from anyone he had ever met. Not just because of her skin or her eyes, but because she seemed to understand things without words. When he was tired, she brought him water. When he was confused about a machine, she showed him how to fix it with a gentle touch. He decided to try one more time. "What is your name?" he asked gently. The maid looked up and smiled. "You will learn it on our wedding day." Alex laughed softly. "You really like that answer, don't you?" She smiled and nodded, her eyes shining like they held a secret. That night, Alex lay in bed thinking about her words. What kind of wedding was she talking about? They barely knew each other. Was it a joke? Or something serious? He remembered stories from old books about alien cultures and their traditions. Maybe she came from a place where promises like this were special and meant something important. Alex decided to learn more about her. But first, he needed to get to know her better. Over the next days, the maid helped him around the apartment. She did not speak much but showed kindness in many ways. She helped fix broken gadgets and even brought small gifts: a flower from a distant planet, a shiny stone that glowed softly in the dark. Alex began to feel happy again. The apartment did not feel empty anymore. The maid was there, quiet but full of life. One afternoon, Alex asked, "Why did you say I will learn your name on our wedding day?" The maid looked at him with gentle eyes. She said softly, "In my world, a name is a promise. It is shared when two hearts are ready." Alex smiled and nodded. He liked that answer. He was curious and excited. Who was she really? Where did she come from? And what did the future hold for them? He knew one thing for sure: his life was about to change. The stars outside his window seemed brighter that night, as if they were watching and waiting. The days passed quietly, but Alex felt something new growing inside him. The alien maid who still did not tell her name was no longer just a helper. She was becoming a friend, someone who understood him without needing many words. Every morning, Alex would wake up to find the maid already busy with chores. She moved silently through the apartment, cleaning and fixing things with gentle care. Sometimes, she would pause and look out the window at the stars. Alex noticed her quiet moments and felt a calm peace spread in the room. One morning, Alex decided to try something different. He had a small broken robot that used to help him in his work. The robot had stopped moving weeks ago, and Alex had tried many times to fix it but failed. "Can you help me with this?" Alex asked, holding the small machine. The maid nodded and took the robot in her hands. She examined it closely, her big eyes bright with focus. Alex watched as her fingers moved softly over the tiny parts. After a few minutes, the robot's eyes blinked to life, and it started to move again. Alex smiled wide. "Wow! How did you do that?" The maid smiled back but only said, "Sometimes, the smallest touch makes a big difference." Alex laughed. He felt amazed by her skill and gentle touch. It was as if she knew things beyond machines, things about life itself. As the days turned into weeks, Alex learned more about the maid's way of helping. She never forced anything and never rushed. She waited patiently for the right moment, like she understood time in a different way. Alex started to share his work with her. He showed her blueprints and designs for new machines. She watched carefully, then touched the drawings softly with her fingers. Sometimes, she would point to a part that needed change or improvement. Slowly, a new friendship grew between them, built on trust and quiet understanding. One evening, after a long day of work, Alex and the maid sat together by the window. The colony lights flickered below, and the stars shone bright above. Alex looked at her and said, "You never tell me your name." "Why?" The maid looked at him with a soft smile and said, "A name is a promise. It is shared only when two hearts are ready." Alex thought about those words. He realized they were not just about a name but about something deeper: trust, friendship, and maybe something more. He smiled. "I want to earn that promise." The maid's eyes sparkled, and she reached out her hand gently. Alex took it without hesitation. That moment felt different. It was the first time they truly connected without words, just the warmth of two hands touching. The next day, Alex found a small note on his desk. It was written in a language he did not understand but had a simple drawing of two hands holding each other. He looked around but saw no one. The maid only smiled quietly from the corner of the room. Alex kept the note close. It became a symbol of their growing bond. One afternoon, while walking through the busy colony streets, Alex noticed people staring at them. Some whispered softly, curious about the alien maid and her human friend. Alex felt a little nervous. He wondered if others would understand their connection or judge it. The maid noticed his worry and squeezed his hand gently. Her eyes told him to be brave. Alex realized he was not alone. That evening, he invited the maid to join him in the colony's small park. It was a quiet place filled with colorful plants and soft light. They sat together on a bench, watching children play and families share stories. Alex said softly, "Do you miss your home?" The maid looked at the sky and nodded. "Sometimes. But here, I have found something new." Alex smiled. "Me too." The stars began to twinkle brighter, and the colony lights dimmed as night grew deeper. Alex and the maid sat quietly, sharing a peaceful moment. In that silence, Alex felt something he had not known before: a hope for the future, a chance to be part of something bigger. He did not know what the maid's promise would mean, but he was ready to learn. Because with her, life was no longer lonely. It was full of mystery, kindness, and the possibility of a new beginning. And in this strange, quiet way, the alien maid and the human engineer started a journey neither of them could yet understand. Any morning, as the colony buzzed with activity, Alex received a message that changed everything. The message came from the colony's central council. It was an invitation, formal and unusual. It said that Alex had been chosen to participate in an ancient ceremony celebrating the unity between humans and aliens. The ceremony was called the bonding rite. It was rare and very special, something that had not happened in many years. Alex's heart beat faster as he read the message again. He did not know why he was chosen. Was it because of the alien maid? He looked around his apartment, but she was not there. Just then, he heard soft footsteps. The maid appeared quietly, her eyes shining with calm light. Alex showed her the message. She smiled and nodded slowly. "This ceremony is part of my people's tradition," she said softly. "It is about trust, respect, and joining two lives." Alex was surprised. "Does this have something to do with your promise? The wedding day you mentioned?" She looked at him, her smile gentle but serious. "Yes. The ceremony is the first step." Alex felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He wanted to understand more, but the idea of such a ceremony was new and strange to him. Over the next days, the colony prepared for the event. Decorations appeared in the public halls, and people talked in whispers about the ceremony. Some were curious, others were unsure. Alex noticed the looks from some colony members. Not everyone welcomed the idea of humans and aliens joining in such a way. Some said it was too soon or too different. Alex felt a little doubt. Was he ready for this? Did he understand what the maid's promise really meant? One evening, as they sat together watching the stars, Alex asked, "What will happen in the ceremony?" The maid explained, "It is a celebration. People from different worlds come together. There will be words of promise, gifts shared, and symbols of trust. It shows that we choose each other, no matter how different we are." Alex thought about the words. It sounded beautiful and hopeful. A way to build bridges, not walls. The day of the ceremony arrived quickly. The public hall was filled with lights and colors from many planets. Aliens and humans gathered, dressed in clothes of many styles and colors. Music played softly, and the air was full of excitement. Alex wore a simple suit, feeling nervous but ready. The maid stood beside him, calm and graceful in her own traditional outfit. She still had not said her name. A speaker welcomed everyone. He spoke of friendship and the future of the colony, a future where differences were not fears but strengths. Then, the ceremony began. Alex and the maid were invited to the center of the hall. A wise elder from the maid's planet stepped forward. He spoke in a language Alex did not understand but then translated into the common tongue. "This ceremony honors the joining of two souls from different stars," the elder said. "It is a promise to walk together, to learn and grow as one." Alex felt his heart beat faster as the maid took his hand. Then, something unexpected happened. The maid looked at Alex and spoke a single word, soft and clear. Alex did not understand it, but the sound was beautiful. It was her name. The crowd fell silent. Alex smiled, feeling the weight and meaning of the moment. He said, "I'm honored to know your name. And I promise to honor it." The maid's eyes shone brighter than ever. She squeezed his hand gently. The elder then presented them with small gifts, symbols of their bond. Alex received a glowing crystal that seemed to pulse with light. The maid received a small metal pendant shaped like a star. The ceremony continued with music and dancing. People from many worlds came forward to celebrate. Alex felt a warmth he had never known before. It was not just about the ceremony but about the hope for a better future. Afterward, as the hall emptied, Alex and the maid walked outside. The stars above seemed closer, as if watching them. Alex said, "I'm glad I was part of this. Thank you for trusting me." The maid smiled. "And thank you for being ready." Alex looked at her, no longer just a helper or a mystery, but someone important in his life. He felt ready to face whatever came next together. After the ceremony, Alex felt a new sense of connection with the alien maid. Now that he knew her name Ela, his curiosity grew stronger. He wanted to understand her world and her people better. One evening, while Ela was quietly arranging some tools in the living room, Alex asked, "Can you tell me about your home?" Ela paused, looking thoughtful. "My planet is called Vyra. It is far from here, beyond many stars. The people of Vyra live in harmony with nature and technology. We believe in balance between mind, heart, and the world." Alex listened carefully, fascinated. He had read about many planets, but hearing her speak made it real. She continued, "On Vyra, names are very important. They are given only when two people are ready to share their lives. It is a sign of deep trust and respect." Alex nodded. "That makes your promise to tell me your name on our wedding day even more special." Ela smiled softly. "Yes. It is more than a word. It is a bond." Over the next few days, Alex spent time learning about Vyra through virtual reality programs the colony offered. He saw beautiful green forests with trees taller than any he had ever seen. Rivers that shone with blue light. Cities built in and around nature, where technology helped the land, not harmed it. He also learned about the Vyran people's traditions. They celebrated seasons with dances and songs. They honored their elders with stories. And their weddings were sacred events filled with meaning and joy. One part of the wedding ceremony that interested Alex the most was the Circle of Trust. In this ritual, the couple exchanged small items from their worlds. These items were symbols of their promises to care for each other and their families. Alex thought about the glowing crystal he had received at the ceremony. He wondered what he could give Ela in return. One afternoon, Alex found an old music box in his apartment storage. It was a simple device but held memories from his childhood. He decided to clean it and fix it. When he finished, the music box played a soft, gentle tune. He thought Ela might like it. That evening, Alex gave the music box to Ela. Her eyes lit up with surprise and happiness. "It is beautiful," she said quietly. "A piece of your world." Ela reached into a small pouch and took out a delicate flower. It glowed softly in the dim light. "This is a Vyran flower," she explained. "It blooms only at night and is a symbol of hope." Alex held the flower carefully. It felt like a promise between their two worlds. They sat together for a long time, sharing stories and learning from each other. Alex told her about Earth and the colony's history. Ela shared legends from Vyra, tales of brave explorers and wise leaders. Alex felt a deep respect for Ela's culture. It was different, but it had beauty and wisdom he admired. One night, as they watched the stars, Alex asked, "Do you think people in the colony will accept our bond?" Ela looked at him and smiled gently. "Some will, some will not. But change begins with understanding. We must be patient." Alex agreed. He knew it would take time for others to see what he already did, the strength and hope in their connection. Over the next weeks, Alex and Ela continued to grow closer. They worked on projects together, shared meals, and explored new places in the colony. Ela taught Alex how to relax and enjoy quiet moments. Alex showed Ela how to repair machines and build new ideas. They were different but fit together like pieces of a puzzle. One day, Alex received a message from the Colony Council. They invited him to speak at a gathering about his experience with Ela and the ceremony. Alex felt nervous but also proud. He wanted to share their story to help others understand. When the day came, Alex stood before a crowd of humans and aliens. He spoke honestly about his journey, his doubts, and his hopes. He talked about trust, respect, and the beauty of learning from each other. The crowd listened quietly. Some nodded with understanding. Others asked questions. But most of all, they saw that Alex and Ela's bond was real and strong. After the gathering, many people came forward to thank Alex. Some even said they were inspired to learn more about other cultures. Alex felt hopeful. Maybe their story could help change the colony for the better. That night, as Alex and Ela sat together, he said, thank you for sharing your world with me. Ela smiled. And thank you for opening your heart. The stars outside their window shone brightly. In their light, two worlds seemed to come closer. Alex knew the road ahead might be full of challenges, but with Ela by his side, he was ready. Because now, he understood that their bond was not just a promise or a ceremony. It was the beginning of something new, a bridge between stars, built on trust, hope, and love. Life on Nova Station was never easy, but for Alex and Ela, the days had grown richer with meaning. Still, not everyone in the colony welcomed their bond with open arms. Some people whispered, watched, and questioned what they did not understand. One morning, as Alex walked through the market district, he noticed groups of people looking at him and Ela with strange expressions. Some whispered behind their hands. Others gave quick, sideways glances. It was clear that not everyone thought their union was a good idea. Alex felt the weight of those looks. It was uncomfortable and confusing. He loved Ela and trusted her, but the colony was a big place with many different opinions. That evening, as they sat together in their apartment, Alex spoke quietly. "Do you think they will ever accept us?" Ela looked at him with calm eyes. "Acceptance takes time. Sometimes, people fear what they do not know. They need to see who we are." Alex nodded. "But it hurts when they judge us." Ela reached out and held his hand gently. "We must be patient and show them our truth." Over the next few days, Alex noticed that the whispers grew louder. Some people asked questions that were not kind. They wondered why a human would choose to be close to an alien. Others said that it could cause problems for the colony. Alex felt torn. He wanted to protect Ela and their bond, but he also wanted peace for everyone. One afternoon, Alex was working in the colony's repair shop when a group of people came in. They were curious but also cautious. One of them, a man named Kian, spoke directly. "Alex," Kian said, "we don't understand why you trust her so much. Aliens are different. How can you be sure this is right?" Alex looked at Kian calmly. "Because I know her. Ela is kind, honest, and true. It does not matter where she comes from. What matters is who she is." Kian frowned but did not argue more. The others nodded slowly, some seeming to think about Alex's words. That evening, Alex told Ela about the conversation. She smiled softly. "You spoke with courage." Alex smiled back. "I want to help others understand." Ela nodded. "Your voice is strong. Together, we can make a difference." The next week, the colony held a public forum to discuss relationships between humans and aliens. Alex and Ela were invited to share their experience. Standing before a large crowd was not easy. Alex felt nervous as he looked at many unfamiliar faces. But then, he saw Ela's calm smile, and his courage grew. He spoke honestly. "We are different, yes. But that difference is our strength. We can learn from each other, support each other, and build a better future." Ela added, "Trust is the foundation of all relationships. When we open our hearts, we see beyond differences." Some people clapped. Others whispered quietly. The forum was not perfect, but it was a step forward. After the event, a few people came to Alex and thanked him for his honesty. Some even asked questions about Vira and its traditions. Alex felt hope rising. Maybe the colony could change. At home, Ela prepared a special meal. It was a recipe from her world, something she shared only with those she trusted. They sat together, eating and talking quietly. The moment was simple but full of meaning. Alex said, "Thank you for trusting me. For being patient with everything." Ela reached out and touched his cheek softly. "We trust each other. That is what matters." Days passed, and slowly, things began to shift. People who once watched from a distance started to greet Alex and Ela with kindness. Children played near their home, curious and smiling. One afternoon, Alex and Ela visited the colony's community center. They helped teach others about different cultures and traditions. Alex showed how machines worked, and Ela shared stories from Vira. The colony felt a little smaller and friendlier. One night, as they looked up at the stars, Alex said, "This journey is not easy, but it is worth it." Ela smiled. "Together, we are stronger." Alex held her hand tightly. He knew challenges would come again, but he was ready to face them. Because now, he understood that trust was more than a word. It was an action, a choice made every day. And with Ela by his side, Alex felt he could build a bridge not only between two worlds but between many hearts. The stars outside shone brightly, as if celebrating their courage. And in that light, a new hope began to grow. The days on Nova Station were growing brighter for Alex and Ela. Their bond had grown stronger, and the colony was slowly beginning to accept their connection. But one quiet evening, Ela seemed distant. Her usually bright eyes were soft but clouded with thought. Alex noticed and asked gently, "Is something wrong?" Ela looked at him and hesitated. Then, with a deep breath, she said, "There is something I must tell you. About my past." Alex's heart beat faster. He knew trust meant sharing everything, even the hard parts. "Tell me," he said softly. "I want to understand." Ela sat beside him and began to speak in her calm voice. "Before coming to Nova Station, I lived on Vira with my family and people. But long ago, a great challenge came to our world. A problem that changed many lives." Alex listened closely as Ela explained. There was a disease spreading in the forests of Vira. It harmed plants, animals, and even people. Many tried to find a cure, but the problem was too strong. Ela's eyes grew distant as she continued. "My family and I helped care for those affected. We worked day and night, using old medicines and new technology. But some could not be saved." Alex felt a sadness wash over him. He reached for her hand. "Did you lose someone?" he asked gently. Ela nodded. "Yes. Many friends and family. It was a difficult time. The pain and fear stayed with me." Alex squeezed her hand. "I'm sorry." She smiled faintly. "That is why I came here to find a new path. A place to heal and grow." Alex understood. She was not just a stranger from another world, she carried memories and wounds, just like anyone. That night, Alex thought deeply about Ela's story. He realized how brave she was, facing loss and still choosing hope. The next morning, Alex decided to do something special. He wanted to help Ela remember the good things from her world, not just the pain. He contacted the colony's virtual reality center and arranged a visit. There, they could explore memories and places from Vira. When Ela saw the plan, her eyes lit up with surprise and gratitude. Together, they entered the virtual world. The air around them shimmered, and suddenly, they were standing in the middle of a lush, glowing forest. Ela looked around, her face softening with joy. "This is my home," she whispered. They walked through the forest, seeing bright flowers, tall trees, and clear streams. The virtual birds sang sweet songs. Alex watched Ela's smile grow. It was the first time he saw her truly relaxed. Then, Ela took his hand and showed him a small clearing with stones arranged in a circle. "This is a place of healing," she said. "Where my people come to remember those we lost and find peace." Alex knelt beside her. "It is beautiful." Ela nodded. "It reminds me that even after hard times, life continues. And we can find hope again." They spent hours exploring Vira's virtual world, sharing stories and dreams. Alex felt closer to Ela than ever. When they left the virtual center, Alex said, "Thank you for sharing your past with me." Ela smiled warmly. "And thank you for helping me remember the light." In the days that followed, Alex and Ela grew even stronger as a team. They worked together to bring new ideas to the colony, blending human, environ knowledge. But Ila's story stayed with Alex, a reminder that everyone carries a past, and that true connection means accepting it all. One evening, as they watched the stars, Alex said, "Your past is part of who you are. And I am honored to be part of your future." Ila looked at him with deep warmth. "And I am honored to share it with you." The stars outside seemed to shine brighter, as if celebrating their shared journey. In that quiet light, Alex and Ila knew their bond was not only a promise but a story of hope, healing, and trust. And whatever the future held, they would face it together. The colony was quiet that evening, the soft hum of life echoing through the halls. Alex and Ila stood together on the balcony of their apartment, looking out at the stars that stretched endlessly above them. The glowing lights of Nova Station flickered below like fireflies, a reminder of the many lives and stories shared within its walls. Alex turned to Ila, his heart full. "We have come so far," he said softly. "From strangers to something more. I never thought this would be possible." Ila smiled, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "Neither did I. But with trust, everything changes." In the weeks since Ila had shared her past, they had grown closer than ever. The colony had begun to accept their bond, and more people were open to learning about different cultures. Alex and Ila's story had inspired others, and hope was spreading. But tonight was different. Tonight was the night Ila had once spoken about, the wedding day. They had agreed to keep the ceremony simple, a quiet celebration of their bond with close friends from the colony. It was not about grand gestures but about the promise they shared, the promise of walking life's journey together. As the gathering began, friends and neighbors arrived, their faces bright with smiles and curiosity. Among them were humans and aliens, all united by respect and friendship. The ceremony was held in the colony's central garden, a place filled with colorful plants and soft glowing lights. Ila had brought a small bowl of glowing water from Vira, a symbol of life and renewal. Alex carried the music box he had given her, the symbol of his world. The elder from Ila's planet stood before them, speaking softly of the meaning of the day. "This union is more than a ceremony," the elder said. "It is a bridge between worlds, built on trust, respect, and love." Alex and Ila stood hand in hand, looking into each other's eyes. Then, Ila spoke her name again, this time, with full meaning and promise. Alex repeated her name, his voice steady and clear. They exchanged the symbols, the glowing water and the music box, each holding a piece of the other's world close to their heart. The crowd watched in silence, feeling the power of the moment. Then, laughter and applause filled the garden. Friends came forward to offer gifts and words of encouragement. The children danced, and the music began, a soft melody from Vira mixed with the rhythm of earth. As the celebration continued, Alex pulled Ila aside for a moment. "I want you to know," he said, "that I will always stand by you. No matter what challenges come, we face them together." Ila's eyes shone with tears of joy. "And I promise to do the same. Together, we are stronger than any fear or doubt." The night grew deeper, but the warmth in their hearts did not fade. Later, as they walked back to their apartment, Alex looked up at the stars and said, "Our journey is just beginning." Ila nodded. "Yes. But with every step, we create a new story, not just for us, but for everyone who believes in hope." They reached their door and stopped. Alex took Ila's hand and said softly, "Thank you for trusting me with your name, your past, and your future." Ila smiled. "Thank you for being patient and kind. For seeing me, not just as an alien, but as someone to love." They stepped inside, closing the door behind them. In the quiet of their home, surrounded by the symbols of their worlds, Alex and Ila sat together. The music box played its gentle tune, and the glowing water shimmered softly. Outside, the stars continued to shine, endless and bright. And in that light, two souls from different worlds found a new beginning, a promise that no matter how far the stars might be, the heart's journey was the greatest adventure of all.